Why would they?
Hello and welcome back to Content. I'm Grayson Auth, and this is the podcast where I sit down and I talk for about 20 to 15 minutes, if that, about content and progress and where I'm at currently, just as a creator, an incredibly small creator. With that, we'll just kind of get right into it. This week has been great, actually. Since the last time we checked in, I've been kind of trying to work on video ideas, and I've had a couple, and I haven't really had time to sit down and really make those ideas kind of start to come to light. So I've had some time to actually work on that, which is really exciting. Different kind of videos and just different kinds of process and progress and just change to the kind of content. Not rushing the kind of content that I push is very helpful. Giving myself a 2-week kind of space gives me more time to plan out topics and videos, and I'm hoping that that is fruitful for me. With that, the last YouTube video that I posted did great. I think it's currently sitting at 1.7 thousand views, and it's a Card Narcs video. Of course it is. Those always get a great amount of views. It's gotten great reception as well. Of course, it has the same old angry Card Narc fans, but there's a lot of people who are agreeing with the topic and the points that are made. So if you're someone who agreed and stuck around and actually hit that subscribe button, thank you. I really do appreciate you. On top of that, I also had a YouTube short go live of the same thing on TikTok and on YouTube, and that one was sitting at, I think, 1.5 thousand likes. So also great there. On all fronts, that's great. The YouTube video that I was working on today, I haven't shot it or anything, just wrote a script for it. That's right, scripted content. I haven't done that. I've never done that. I've never done just like sitting down and recording a reaction to something. I've wanted to. I haven't really dipped my toes in it before. I'm fine with reading a script. I'm fine with having a basic idea of what I'm going to say. I already kind of do that, but I've just never had a outline of a movie or a TV show or something of the sort where I actually talk about it and do like a movie review. And that's what I'm doing. It's a fan-made film that is really funny. It's really goofy. It's really entertaining. I'm really excited to talk about it, which I'll be shooting that next week, I believe, as long as everything works out correctly. But I'm excited for that. I really am. It's going to be a fun little thing. On top of that, Cosmic Complexity has been going through it. We've gone 2 weeks without a video, and there's supposed to be a episode that came out yesterday, and it didn't come out, and I have a reason, and that's the topic of today's episode, which is learning when to say no when uploading content. Me and Trent got into a debate while we were shooting the episode, and the topic was very, very heavy. It's just a very heavy subject, and we did the debate with good intentions, and we never said anything that was like crazy or made in a way that was incorrect, but it could be taken that way. And even though upon finishing watching it, I knew that I know my intentions and I know what I was saying, and Trent knew his intentions and Trent knew what he was saying, I decided to pull the plug on the uploading of the episode simply because it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it is something that should be released, and it didn't feel like something that I was comfortable with sharing, just because it's just such a heavy subject, and it's just a really hard thing to talk about without something being taken out of context and used differently, or just not listened to at all and just completely flown off the context. And it's just one of those things where I hit the pause button and left it there. And I don't know, I thought that was an interesting subject because for me personally, when I make a YouTube video of any sort, whether it be a vlog, a podcast episode, or a YouTube video, I genuinely think about it a lot. I think about the kind of people who are going to watch it. I think of their reactions, how they're going to react. Is it going to be a good reaction or a bad reaction? And that is like a big deal for me, is when I post content, do I feel good about uploading it? And that was an episode that I didn't feel good about uploading. I didn't feel good, like, in my just chest, I guess my stomach was just immediately like, I'm not uploading that. I don't think that's going to be a good episode. And it made me uneasy and made me worried, and that's not a good feeling to have when uploading a video. And of any sort, I've promised myself that if I hesitate on any of my videos, I'm not going to upload it. I've started to shoot an episode of a reaction video or reaction content, and I've stopped because either I felt like the quality of the video wasn't going to be good, I felt like the topic wasn't good, or I knew that it could be taken a different way and I didn't want it to be uploaded that way. Censorship. I'm monitoring myself, making sure that I'm keeping myself in check, and yeah, that episode happened to be one of those things. So, if you're a Cosmic Complexity watcher and you're wondering why there hasn't been an episode, for the little of you there is an episode coming out next week. I promise. Sorry, it is coming. We're gonna work on shooting a different subject, and we're not gonna do anything about it. So I just thought that was a really interesting kind of idea. It's just something that I've never really talked about on this show or channel. Like, really, I've never just like said, yeah, there are some things that I will draw the line, say, you know what, I don't feel good about this, I'm not gonna upload this. And I do think that's a good thing to have, and an important thing to have is like a pause button where you're like, okay, wait wait a minute. So yeah, that's something. Also, on the end of this, on the tail end of this, I'm not going to do a super long episode. I've got a crazy busy week, and I want to make sure that I have time to edit this and shoot this and make sure everything's ready for it to be coming out in a smooth flow. But also wanted to mention, Cardnark fans are hilarious to watch. I don't know how this happens so often, but there's just like a really interesting thing about Cardnark fans where even though I'm very clearly explaining a subject to them like they're children, they still can't grasp a very simple subject, and it's just the most entertaining thing in the world. And you know, listen, if you're a subscriber of this channel and you watch content and you care enough to comment on anything, let me know, what do you think of the Cardnark videos? Are they entertaining to you? Do you enjoy watching them? Like, I just feel like they're they're the same point every time, but it always goes right over the head of the Cardinal fans, and I'll never understand that. But honestly, I think that's just about it, really. There's not too much. There's mainly just like a few updates, like, okay, YouTube is doing well. TikTok is doing well. I am doing well. I'm getting ready to start college here pretty soon, and I'm pretty nervous, but I'm also excited. I think it's going to go well. But that's really it. There's not too much going on right now where I can just sit down and yap. And maybe if I'll come up with a subject, and you know, this show, I've given it space to where it can be short and it can be long, and it just depends on what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, where I'm at. And right now, I'm doing okay. And I hope you're doing okay as well. We're getting into the summer season, and this is kind of the low point of content, and it won't ramp up until more so into the school year. So this is where it's like a struggle to really get the views out there. So I'm trying my best to make sure I'm picking some solid subjects and not getting a video that's going to get 8 views. So with that, I think that's all I got for now. I really do appreciate you guys watching and hanging out and being here. I'll see you guys next week. Adios. Why would they?